Ahoy there, mateys! Welcome back to another episode of Sailing svSomeday.
Hi.
Yeah, I need my hat. Hang on a second. Wait. Yeah.
Check out these waves.
My head was hot, so I shaved off all my hair.
Sun's not on you now.
I didn't want anyone to see. Alright, got my hat on. So on the projects front, we're still trudging through our list that we started this season. We're doing pretty well. We got several more things to do, but this week we are taking a hiatus from projects. We've had some people ask us what we have to do to get the boat ready to sail from the time we get to the boat to the time we pull out of the slip. So I think instead we're going to demonstrate that. I think that'll be interesting for the people that don't know much about sailing and not sure what's involved. So that kind of looks like this. So when we first arrived, this is what the boat looks like. All the covers are on, everything's all stowed away. All our junk is in the cockpit. So the first thing we got to do is get everything out of the cockpit and load it into the boat. And the next thing we got to do is take all of the covers off the boat. Now that the biminy's up and we have shade on the outside, it's time to get some airflow going through the boat because it's currently 97 degrees in here. The airflow, it's already better. It's still 97 degrees, but it feels much better. The next thing we usually do is put our flags up. Not required, but you want to be fashionable. After I do the flags, I usually turn around and realize that the sail ties are on, so this is a good time to take those off. So now that the sail ties are off, I see this hanging, and it reminds me that I need to put the halyard on. So let's do that. First, I pop the clutch. You gotta make sure to put the halyard back through the lazy jacks, otherwise you'll have a problem later, and it won't be very much fun. So then we attach the halyard to the mainsail.
Now that we moved the seat cushions, I have room to put all of our covers. At this point, we're all hot and sweaty, so it's time to take a break.
We always have to remember to put our chart plotter on, otherwise we'll get lost or run aground, and we don't want to do either one of those. And we take the instrument covers off. Then we turn the instruments on and make sure they're working before we leave.
Now we get out our Type 4 throwables that we use as seat cushions and our life jackets. Now we gotta get out our boat hook.
So the next order of business is to make sure that everything that we brought with us that's inside the boat is secured so that when we're out sailing and flopping around that things don't all end up on the floor. They usually do anyway, but at least we give it a try. A lot of our bedding and other stuff goes into containers in the V-berth while we sail so that it doesn't end up in the floor. And it's a good place to stack stuff while we're out.
We also have a bag that we hook up outside in the cockpit that has our sailing gloves and our emergency air horn and binoculars.
Our Cruiser portable air conditioner worked okay. It only cooled down the V-berth where we sleep, and since we sleep with our heads aft in the V-berth, the air conditioner was about this far from our head. And it was really loud because it had a rattle to it, and it also had condensation which would drip on our head. So we took that one away and we got this one. It's 10,000 BTU Honeywell and it works really good, but it is on wheels and so it rolls around, so when we're ready to go sailing we have to put it somewhere to secure it so that it doesn't crash into everything. So So most of the outside work is done. Everything inside is secure so it won't fall off. So a couple more things. Turn the engine seatcock on, check the oil, and check the coolant. The first time you put a line on a winch and you go to grab your handle and it's not there, you will never forget your winch handle again. The next order of business is to unhook from shore power. We do that. We start off with the AC master switch. We turn it off inside the breaker just for safety.
And you want to remember to unhook the shore power from your boat before you leave.
So we run the stern lines through the aft cleat, but before we leave we want to be able to just throw the line off. So part of the preparation is to take it out from the middle of the cleat so we can just toss it. Now whenever we're ready to go, we can just unhook it, throw it, and go. It's always a good idea to make sure your engine starts and let it warm up a little bit before you leave, so that's what we're going to do right now. It works. You always got to make sure you're spitting out exhaust water before you leave too. Otherwise you have a problem. We are, so we're good. We got all our lines squared away. We know that the engine works, and so now the only thing left to do is toss the lines off and go sailing.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Boats in our way. Buoyancy operated aquatic transport. So we're out sailing again. It's pretty fantastical. The wind is more consistent, around 10 to 12 knots, which is pretty handy. And it seems to be serving us well the direction we're headed today. So it seems to be working out pretty good. Apparently we have a boat on fire back behind us a little bit, and we keep hearing explosions and seeing explosions, so that's not good. There's nothing we could do to help them from way over here, so it's sort of just a spectacle, if you will, but that's a shame. I hope everybody's okay.
So we were supposed to have some good wind today, so we decided we would retrace our race steps, see if we could beat our previous time of sailing around the islands. There was too much wind earlier, so we reefed the sails, and then the wind died, so we shook the reefs out, and so I'm not sure if we're going to beat our time now because there's no wind.
I'm not going to tell you how shallow it is because that would be not good, but the water's really shallow right here. Anyway, we're having a really cool time doing our sailing and everything's fun. And then all of a sudden we realized that we weren't just sailing, that we're in a race. And we're winning. I think the general consensus is one boat you're sailing, two boats clearly you're racing. And we got a little bit of a lead. A while ago the water was 6 feet deep under the boat, and our keel is 3'11", which would be like roughly 4 feet. So we had this much water under the keel. One day, we're just gonna stop and call Sailboat US to come haul us out.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it either, but at least it'll be out of the way. Once you get that out of the way, you don't worry. It's not that big of a deal. Just like everything else. So today we decided to take another stab at our race course, I guess, from the race that we were in, however long ago that was, to see if we could beat our old time.
I guess we're gonna do it every time until we beat our last time.
Eventually, yeah, you just got to get back on the horse. We did not beat our time. In fact, this is, well, we didn't even get close. so not close, in fact, that we just dropped the sails and we're just drifting now. But in all fairness, we did spend part of the day reefed. And I think that we're never going to be able to do it if we have to reef, but if you round up, you'd never win a race.
Right.
If you
Go in
reef,
circles.
you might not ever win a race. But I guess if you had to reef, then all the other boats would probably reef too. I don't know. We only rounded up once when we were in a race with another boat. Unfortunately for them, it was right when we were just about getting right in front of them, and they were off our port side, and we, so we just took it back the other way. Sorry, sailboat, we didn't mean to do that. We did take a few jabs after that to make sure that we stayed clear of that guy, just so we didn't freak him out or with our stupid sailing skills or anything like that.
What did you learn this week?
What did I learn? I learned that I need to stop thinking about sail trim so much. A lot of times I'm looking at the sails, oh, how do we do, move this thing or pull this or whatever to try to get a little more speed out of the sails. But what I should be doing probably, if we're trying to get from A to B or we're trying to do a course, is think more about the navigation and the tacks that we need to make and less about the sail trim. Certainly if you're trying to achieve a certain time around a course, then your tacks are really important. I spend a lot of time dwelling, do I go further this way before I tack so that I can miss the edge of this thing? Or do we tack now and then tack again so that we know we can clear it? So yeah, tacks are really important and course and all. I mean, I got a lot of work to do there, but almost none of that has to do with the sail looking like this or whatever. So that's what I learned. What did you learn?
Well, I learned that if we have a steady 10 knots, shaking loose the reefs is not that bad. Just getting past my comfort zone of always being reefed, and I say that like we've done that a lot. We've
sailed a lot unreefed, but we also spent a whole lot of time trying to correct roundups,
right,
and maybe not reefing when we should or whatever. But yeah, if you're more comfortable, if you can learn to be more comfortable without reefs, then that's fantastic.
Right, because right now, like where you're concentrating on, getting from point A to point B, I'm just trying to not fall off the boat.
Right. Well, we ain't falling off the boat. If whoever falls off first has to give the other one $100, so there's a pretty big incentive to not fall off of this boat. We skipped our projects, did do a video about process, learn things, more sailing. Every week we get a little bit closer to, being where we need to be. Right. I think we're on track pretty good. Anyway, the wind is blowing enough that we would have to reef now, and it's really moving around a lot, so it's really hot, and we've been sailing for 6 hours or so. So it is time for us to end this day by jumping in the water. So that's what we're gonna do. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
See you.